I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, moving all day long. Representing his glory, hope he's proud of me. Hope he's proud of me. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life like it's golden, golden. Living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, moving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my soul. I'll be high stepping, y'all, letting joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm strumming my own freedom, playing the God in me, representing his glory, hope he's proud of me. Like he's proud of me. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. What you say? Girl, it's my You ain't know Texas women do it bigger. Say that so. In the South, it gets no realer, baby. Top full of grits. I'm hotter than mama sucker boy. Better get with it. Better watch your mouth. I might burn your boy. Downtown, go to work. Good Lord, you deserve. If you're scared, go to church. Woo, I'm a love. I'm on time to the country boy. I ain't no girl. I'm a bossy daughter. All I need is a baby love me like one biscuit on a Sunday morning. I got what you want. I'm aiming to please. I got what it takes. I sure got the means. I got what you want. Sugar, honey, iced tea. All eyes on me. Oh, baby. I'm a whole lot of woman. From the way I walk and talk like this. I'm a whole lot of woman. From the sound of my voice to the gloss on my lips. I'm a whole lot of woman. Anything I see, I won't like it. I'm a strong, badass chick with classic confidence. Yeah. One time for the green and rolling like teaser. Up hard and easy. Ooh, if you made it, I'm on tight, little country boy. I ain't no girl, I'm a bossy boy. All I need is a baby love me like a warm biscuit on a Sunday morning. I got what you want, I'm aiming to please. I got what it takes, I sure got the means. I got what you want, sugar, honey, iced tea. All eyes on me, oh, baby. I'm a whole lot of woman. From the way I walk and talk my lips. I said, I'm a whole lot of woman. From the sound of my voice to the gloss on my lips. I'm a whole lot of woman. Anything I see, I won't like it. I'm a strong ass chick with classic confidence. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining the QOR conversation, Fashionably Well. My name is Pamela A. Davis. I am the founder and CEO of a beautiful, much-needed organization called Queen of Resilience. And our mission is to simply teach individuals how to be resilient in every area of their life by increasing mental health awareness, mentorship, and professionally development. So I'm not sure if you know, but May is Mental Health Awareness, y'all, and it is a perfect time to have a conversation about fashion, the way you dress, the way you wear your hair, that statement necklace, everything about you that makes you who you are. So we're having a simple conversation, a much needed conversation with some amazing individuals in the industry, in the fashion industry. And we're going to talk about how fashion changes your mood. And just to give a disclaimer, we are not therapists, y'all. So don't say, wait a minute, Pam said, but maybe you want to write some tips down, to hear from the different panelists that we have today. So I am going to hand it over to Precious Simone. She's going to introduce herself, and then we're going to get into this conversation.
Thank you so much, Pam. Hey, everybody. I'm Precious Simone. I am the president on this lovely board of Queen of Resilience, and it is such an amazing, amazing time to come together to talk about being fashionably well. I love fashion, and I'm so glad we have a lot of fashionistas here on the screen. But even more important, the conversation that we are normalizing around mental health and why it's important for us to check in on ourselves and how our appearance affects our mental health. So I'm excited to have these beautiful ladies here on the screen with us. So yes, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you all are out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Please share this video as well as tag somebody in for this Fashionably Well conversation. We love your support and we appreciate it. All right, ladies. The first question, and I'm going to ask it to AM. I got AM. I want to make sure I pronounce your name right. Stina Dior. So Christina and House of Nyla. Is that right, Nyla? I want to make sure. I want to butcher no one's name. So please correct me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So the first question is, when you hear fashionably well, what do you think of? What is the first thing that comes to mind when you accepted this and you said yes? When you hear fashionably well, what comes to mind? What is fashionably well and what is it not?
Oh, I guess I'll start. So the first thing that came to mind, of course, for me, I struggle with depression. And so I'm always using my style to be the way that I push through the day. Right. So when she asked me, I'm like, oh, yeah, because I deal with this on the day-to-day basis. It's a struggle most days to get out of bed and be and show up as I should. And so being fashionably well, for me, when I heard it, was just like, OK, let's talk about my process of how I get up and how I push through the day and how I push through the depression that I deal with every day. Right. So I'll keep it brief. Let's try to keep responses 2 to 3 minutes. Did we have a time limit? That was a question.
2 to 3 minutes is fine.
Okay, so I'm good on my first. I don't want to keep talking. So whoever wants to jump in can.
Okay, I'll go next. So I would also say, to piggyback off that, fashion has helped me in my anxiety journey that I've had for well over 10 years. It just kind of gives you a purpose to try to make yourself feel better. And then being someone who not only is a plus size woman, but also is not the cookie cutter plus size woman. I would say that fashion and being able to experiment with different garments and what fits your body and what doesn't, it really does help you build self-confidence. For me, I'm well over 100 pounds 10 years ago. And ironically, 10 years ago is when I had the least self-confidence. Now, today, at almost 30, you can't tell me nothing about how I look, my body, what I wear, and whatever I put on. And fashion was something that kind of helped me get to that level, because when you start to really experiment with different things that you think look good on you, and when you are able to actually elevate and build your self-confidence, it doesn't matter what anybody else tells you. As long as you think that you feel good and look good, everything else kind of comes into play and kind of flows with the ideology that you have as far as how you want to be perceived in the world.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback off of what
Thank
she
you.
said. I would agree. I guess in my journey, fashion has helped me so much build up my like self-esteem. As being a plus size girl, especially because I want to say up until like about 16, that was like I wouldn't have been able to put something on decent like this. You know, it was like there was nothing. Okay. But you know, as time go along, you know, my self esteem was like, oh, I could put this on, put these heels on. Like I don't have to, you know, look slouchy or whatever because of my size. So fashion has definitely helped me on my journey of just being more confident in my self esteem journey as well. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank
You all.
you.
Thank you all. I love that you all are talking about your journey with body image and being plus size women, because that's important to me. It definitely has boosted my confidence. But I do believe that we all have a story behind what we do. So what is the story behind you choosing fashion as an art that brightens up your life? And I want you all to take this question. So that question is, what is the story behind you choosing fashion as an art that brightens up your life?
For me, I didn't really choose it. I'll say it kind of found me, right? So a lot of my inspiration comes from my mother. My mother worked in retail for all of her life for the most part. She was a fashion merchandiser and visual manager for a department store. But then on top of that, she worked also as a stylist. And then I had key women in my life who I spent quality time with. I had a neighbor, and she took me to the high-end stores with her every week. But then I had my grandmother who took me to Sears and J.C. Penney's pretty much once a month, you know, and we didn't have it by any means. We were poor, okay? And so I watched my mom make a lot with nothing, right? And so naturally just watching her work with clients and work with people and helping them like build their confidence and their self-esteem, it kind of was naturally ingrained in me. But because my mom wasn't as successful with it, I didn't ever see it as a viable career option. And I didn't even really see it as a career option really until the last maybe 2 or 3 years when other people encouraged me and pushed me in that direction. But before that, I was like, this is a hobby. This is just what I do. And it's something that I truly enjoy. And to be honest, I shopped because I was depressed, right? And so it was my therapy for the longest time. And then what happened was that I was working with people, you know, my friends just like, hey, Stina, can you hook me up? Can you take me shopping? Can you go shopping with me? And I'm like, I can, but I don't want to. And then that kind of just became the norm and the rhythm for me. And then the great thing about it is I was able to start my business, and my mom is a part of my style team now. And so it's almost like her dream deferred is now a manifestation, right? And so that's part of the journey. And it's great to be on it with her because she has years of wisdom behind it. She went to school for it. She just never got to utilize it. And so I have her as a crutch, but then I get to work here in Atlanta in the industry a lot, in production and editorial. And so I'm learning a lot of the things that she never got a chance to do. But in that sense, like I go back to the beginning, I would say it chose me because it was in every way around me. And so naturally it was ingrained in me, and I just had to stop running from it. And once I've done it, once I started doing it, I'm like, this is what can help me get out of bed, not picking up and going to my 9 to 5 every day. That's not what fulfills me. That's not what makes me happy, but it's actually doing this and helping people build their self-esteem, build their confidence. And we have fun while we shop, you know? So it's a great thing. And I'm just so happy I finally stepped into it and let God order my steps. And he's kind of been navigating me ever since.
Okay, I'll go next. And honestly, it's piggyback off of what Christina said. I would say fashion shows me as well. I was the person that kind of went on the typical fashion journey path. I tried to start a clothing line when I was 16. I went to fashion school. I have 2 degrees in fashion merchandising and retail management. I started blogging in 2013 after I came home from Missouri State after having my daughter. So I've been in the industry for well over 8 years. Now, because of some things, you know, whether it's inconsistencies or just me not being the person that I am now, to where I would have been able to handle some of the things that I now handle now. COVID happened to me. And being someone in the fashion industry, I was actually a product developer. So we were one of the main industries that were hit. So I got laid off, and that's when the AK Brown brand kind of shot up during COVID. So fashion for me, I didn't choose fashion. Fashion chose me, but also just to kind of piggyback off of Christina said, I think fashion is probably one of the only industries outside of like music and art itself that you're able to genuinely express yourself, be creative, where no one is going to judge you. And someone who does not do well at this point with 9 to 5s, being in something that's more structured, I've realized that fashion is my path, fashion is my journey. And if I pass tomorrow, I want to be known, or I want my daughter to, know me as that fashion person of St. Louis. So I didn't choose fashion. Fashion chose me. I'm glad that it did, because I honestly don't feel like I would be happy in any other industry. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing. We're all still trying to be, perfect within our own respective crafts. But I was doing this even when I was doing it for free. Just like Christina, I was doing styling and blogging and other stuff for free, and didn't think twice about it, because that's what I genuinely love to do. And as cliche as it sounds, fashion is my passion. So that's my story.
Oh, I guess I could say fashion chose me as well. I started like sketching like at a super young age, and it wasn't something that was necessarily like presented to me per se. It was just like, I'm gonna start sketching. I'm gonna start having, my name, whatever. I think my first brand name was NSC because those are my initials. I would like draw it all over. My mom took me to sewing lessons. I just basically stayed on the trajectory of fashion. It was always something I knew I wanted to do. But I'm gonna be honest, my last like year of college, I was like, after I do this one collection, senior collection, I am done. I'm out. I'm gonna sell my stuff. I'm gonna go get me a 9 to 5 job, and that is it. And literally, that was like the semester that like really changed my life. Honestly, my teacher helped me so much, and I ended up on like we have like PR stuff or whatever, and my dress or whatever that I had to make was like on all like the PR imagery and all of that type of stuff. So it was like, this is a boost. And then once I graduated, it was like, okay. And then like somebody was like, hey, I want you to make a shirt for me. And I'm like, I haven't even done a men's shirt or whatever. So it was like literally did one chance, one person was like, hey, I'm gonna take a chance on you. And from there, I've always been able to have clients. And now that's something that I just enjoy doing, is seeing people going from, like they, see like the little plain material to like seeing their face when they have like this specially made garment for themselves. Like I love it. I go through a lot of stress sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. But it's like every single time I get joy in my heart when I see them wear a garment that I've, made. So I wouldn't trade it in for the world. I'm trying to get to the point to where I can no longer, work a 9 to 5 job, but I still do all of my fashion stuff, and I love it.
And just to piggyback off what you just said, like right before we joined, one of my clients called because she just took pictures the other day, and she was like, Stina, I know you about to do this, but hold on. And she sent me her roll of film, right, from her pictures, and she was so happy. Mm-hmm. And it's that part, you just nailed it. Like when you feel like, I don't feel like doing this, or I think I'm about to tap out for a little bit, I'm gonna take a little break. Like you said, AK, it's like inconsistency sometimes. You get that little glimmer, right? When your client calls and says, it's lit and I did it, and they're happy, and you can tell they're confident and they're strong and they're shining their light. It's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. It's that motivation to keep you going. But then it's also that confirmation like, hey, I'm walking in my purpose, right? So I just wanted to say that little part. Keep going.
That's awesome, you all. I love that each and every one of you said that fashion is your passion. If it's not your passion, then why do you do it? Why do you wake up and do it and put a smile on your clients face because it's your passion. So the next question is, what struggles have you had personally when it comes to your mental health journey, and how did you choose the tools of fashion to be resilient? And anyone can take that question.
I've been going first. Somebody else go.
So to kind of go back on what I was saying on the last question, my mental health journey has been a struggle. It still is a struggle to this day, and I'm confident enough to kind of say that and share that. Suffering from anxiety, but more so, I feel like there was, or at least in my mind, for some reason, there was this thing in my head about how I was supposed to act. And for a lot of that, it was not good. I'll admit that. Like, I came off, and excuse my language, very bitchy, very petty, very mean, not very personable. And I couldn't understand why that was. So my dad passed away 4 years ago in April, and that's when I decided to start taking my own accountability as far as what may be wrong with me, but more so what image am I putting out into the world, because that also linked into the inconsistencies. Why was I not really getting clients? Why was I not really getting people to support me and share my stuff? Like, you know, as people, we don't like to admit when it's us that's the problem. Like, that's just human nature. We don't like to admit when we're the problem. So I started to go to therapy, and then slowly but surely had to take some of the negative energy out of my life, whether it was people, mentality, ideology about like how you're supposed to act. And maybe it's because, you know, fashion as a whole, there's this whole thing about like people in the fashion industry are like mean, but that's what you're supposed to expect. So other people are supposed to deal with it. And I just didn't like myself where I was. So then last year, I realized I actually had a thyroid issue, which contributes to hormone imbalance, especially in women, because a lot of women actually have thyroid issues that they don't know about. So that led me to getting on medication. Then I started to get on medication for my anxiety, and really just taking accountability for knowing that you're not being the person that you know that you should be, and fixing those negative things about you. For me, that was really a part of my mental journey. Learning how to take accountability for myself so I can be happy within myself, and then other people around me can be happy with the person that I am. It's not about wanting people to like you and stuff like that. But again, you don't want to be that nasty person that people don't want to be around. And I saw that was happening, so I had to do some things to fix it.
Thank you, AK. That was awesome. Nyla, did you want to jump in?
I guess I'll jump. I guess I'll jump in. I think, you know, I've also in the past have struggled with depression, especially when I was in college. One thing, you know, I'm a spiritual person, and so prayer definitely helped me through. I think having, you know, fashion there as well, it's kind of basically kind of keep me on track, and kind of being like, nah, okay, you need to do this, this, and this, kind of keeping my mind together. And even now, I mean, last year during the pandemic, I'm gonna be honest, fashion saved me again, my craft saved me again. Because I think everybody was like sewing masks last year, and at first I was like, not gonna do it. I'm gonna take a break. I had a whole calendar. I'm like, I'll just go ahead and take a break. And I was like, no, I was around the house all the time. I was like, oh, and so it literally helped me so much just to be like taking orders and, you know, meeting up with people. Like, it kept me going during the pandemic. And, you know, for, you know, not to get into depression or having low self-esteem, or, you know, because even my church was like shut down. So I was like singing in the pews every Sunday. So, you know, you just didn't have like the connection. But seeing, you know, doing like the mass for different people, it was like, oh man, I get to see certain people how I haven't seen in a while and things like that. It was like that connection. just kind of held me together during the pandemic. So that's kind of how I've dealt with kind of like my mental health, and especially within this last year, it's just been crazy. But I'm thankful, that my craft has brought me through.
I guess I'll jump into. So I said several times that I deal with depression, and it's been like that since I was a child. I was never a happy kid. My smile is, but on the inside, I was never just happy and wanted to engage with people and engage in things. And by nature, I'm an introvert. And so in order for me to show up, it's another thing. I just had to look the way I wanted to feel. And so because I wasn't a happy child, my mom always dressed me like to the nines because she knew I wasn't a happy child. So that naturally built my confidence because I always got compliments, but still, as I, transitioned to adulthood and during my college years, and Pam can go to this. Pam used to think I was probably one of the most arrogant people, okay? Because when I walked into a room, I really did command it, but on the inside, I just had to command it because I had to convince myself I was that person, right? But most days I just didn't feel like it, and even still this day, some days I just don't feel like showing up. And so I had to do a number of things, right? So the first thing I do every day is I get up and I do my mantras like, hey, you got this today. Be confident. And I don't know if y'all watch Mary Jane, but I write on my mirror and I have Post-its all over my house because I have to empower myself. So my affirmations are a huge thing. The second thing I did was I stopped swiping my credit card to deal with my depression because I would get the bills every month and it just added to anxiety in adulthood, right? And so I had to stop doing that. And then the next thing I did was I went to therapy. And that was transformative because I was able to identify certain things and certain triggers that caused me to deal with depression, and they're coupled, right? So you'll have depression and then you'll hit anxiety first, and then depression will come, and then you have to pull yourself back out of it. And so because I started to learn my habits and learn who I was, I knew how to mitigate that before they even came, right? And so luckily for me, when I decided to make this a career option, I was like, okay, because I'm doing this every day, I don't have depression as much, right? Because I'm walking in my purpose. I'm not waking up and going to a job I don't love. And granted, I still have a 9-to-5 and I love my job too. I changed where I work, and that changed a lot of things too. So I get to do two things I'm very passionate about, and that's kind of what keeps me going. And so that's where the two really intersect. And then every day, like I said, it's a new struggle every day. It's a new journey every day. But because I'm doing the things that I love, it's a lot easier. And since I've recognized my patterns and recognized my habits and the seasons that things happen, I'm able to prepare for that so I can navigate it a little easier.
That's awesome. This is so amazing. I am hoping that you are taking notes and getting all of these gems, just the tips that you guys have been given so far when it comes to going to therapy, when it comes to affirmations and your faith walk. That is so important. So thank you all for joining the QOR conversation, Fashionably Well. If you are just joining, thank you. And make sure that you share this conversation because these ladies are amazing, amazing, amazing. And someone said Egyptian, she said, y'all are going deep already. I mean, listen, it's like we're going to talk about anxiety. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about that we was on medication, but we're also going to give the tools to help ourselves and each other. So I appreciate you all for going so deep so early. I'm like, wait a minute.
Let's lighten it up a little bit now, okay?
Right, lighten up just a little bit. All right, Precious, you can go to the next question.
Okay, I can lighten it up a little bit. Even though that was wonderfully said. Everything y'all said was really good. So the question is, what is the balance when you think about confidence, esteem, and value? What is the balance between the internal and the external image? Is there a balance, or do they both coincide with one another?
I'm not the right person for this one.
I would say, oh, that's a good question. So I'm gonna try to verbalize this the best way I can. So work with.
Thank you.
first off, you can't, and this is kind of also to piggyback off of what Christina said. It's like, for me at least, for someone that is not there when it comes to self-esteem, body image, and things of like that, you can easily use fashion, style, and wardrobe to look the way that you want to feel. For someone like me, so my journey is, I had my daughter when I was 20. And from there, I easily started to gain a whole bunch of pounds that at this point I'm not losing because I'm not doing all that. So I had to have a really good come to Jesus with myself. Like, okay, so if you don't plan on actively trying to lose this weight, you are going to have to start to really internally love yourself, because we're in a society that doesn't necessarily take too well to plus size women. We're just now getting to the point where plus size is acceptable. And even then, there's still a cookie cutter version of what is an acceptable plus size woman. So for someone like me, I say this all the time. I ain't got no hips. I look like SpongeBob half the time. I got turkey, and I love everything about me. So in that journey of new motherhood and really figuring out who I was as AK Alex Alexandria, however you know me, I had to really say, like, you can't have these self-esteem issues that you had in high school and college, because the only person that really matters at this point is your daughter. So you either gonna love yourself, or if you want to lose the weight, you can lose the weight. I'm lazy. I didn't feel like losing the weight. So internally, I had to just, throughout anything, say that you're beautiful. There's no one else like you, and you're going to rock every day like it's your last day. And then fashion paired with that, on the outside, I like to experiment, and I like to kind of create certain outfits that a lot of my clients even say, like, this is what I visualize in my head, but I'm not able to execute it the way that you're able to execute it. So I think there is a balance. Like, you have to have a certain element of, I do love myself, and I do think, I'm the ish. And then if you compare that with how you want to be perceived in the world, I don't think there's anything that you cannot do if you have that, the internal and the external.
So I'll jump in too. External, I didn't want to speak to this, but I'm gonna speak to this. External is the part that I think I have, right? But within the last 2-3 years, I have started gaining weight, right? So my internal has been off, because I've been had the same body for a long time, right? And now it's starting to shift and transition. And so many women normally go through this after they have a child. Well, I don't have any children, right? And so every day, as my body is changing, I'm learning to, I don't know if I like this. Where did this come from? Now, I prayed for these thighs I got, but the stomach that came with them, baby, I wasn't ready. Okay. So every day I'm learning that I'm changing, and I'm trying to learn to love it. Right. But externally, everybody's like, oh, you look good, but it doesn't match how I feel on the inside. And so I am that person that gets up at 5:45 a.m. and go to the gym, because I'm so used to how I looked. Right. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this to be healthy, but I need to learn to love my body as it's switching and as it's changing. Because I was so used to being between 130 and 140. And when I jumped 20-30 pounds, I'm like, now, who you, girl? And so I'm learning the new me over again. And so for me, it right now where I am, it's not calibrating. And that's why I was like, I don't know if I want to touch this question. But but what's happening is it's starting to even out, right? Because I have to look myself in the mirror every day and tell myself, girl, you got this, and go on and take the booty and the thighs, and we'll work on the abs if you want them back, and we always do that. So that's just kind of where I am right now in my journey of matching the internal with the external, but it is super important, and it's something we are all working on, right?
Awesome. I am loving this self-love. I can feel it through the screen. This self-love is amazing. All right. So our next question: in the world of first impressions, how do you dress the part but still own your uniqueness? And I know you all are unique in your ways, in the way you dress, in the way you carry yourself. So have at it.
Nyla, go first.
Like nothing, like nobody said nothing. I would say, I think I would say this: knowing your body type and dressing for your body type is so important. Like going back to Ayan, what she was saying, I'm not the typical plus size type. I got a chest. That's all I got for you. Okay. And so, but I know like I can wear, if I put on the dress, I got you. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it's an A-line dress or whatever, like I look good in that. Like I know how to dress for my body type. So that kind of helps me, if I go into a room, like I'm gonna come with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we kind of look at ourselves through the lens of like the Instagram models and kind of like what's kind of like shown to us, and we think like that specific look is gonna look good on us.
But it don't.
And it's not. It's really not, But you just have to be like, okay, let me maybe take this and put this together, and then it can kind of give it that same look, but without like, I'm not showing no rolls, I'm not showing this. You gotta know. You gotta, like I said, I think dressing for your body is so important. We've seen people, you like that dress is cute, but her in that dress is not cute. So I just think, not getting caught up in what other, kind of like what's being seen all the time, and dressing for your for who you are is the best thing that you can do, because people could really appreciate it and say, that looks nice on you. They may not be able to even wear what you have on or put it together like you put it together, but it's you. So that's what I have to say on that.
I'll even piggyback off that. So for me, I have a mind of like a branding perspective and like PR perspective. So I guess this is more so tailored to people that are creativepreneurs like the rest of us. I feel like if you can find 2 or 3 things that are signature to who you are, that is how you make a first impression. Even if you feel like you want to dress homeless today or not all the way up to the nines, as Christina would say, I now have people from Starbucks to my favorite store to everywhere that literally recognize. I had like 2 random people at House of Soul come up to me and recognize me last night simply because of the distinct features of how I look. And I purposely do that. Like I purposely have the type of glasses that I wear. I dress in a certain way. Just because from a branding perspective, I'm all about, especially in fashion, and people gonna argue with me about this, but I don't care. Fashion is a very oversaturated field, whether positive or negative. It can be very oversaturated, and you are competing, or you may have, like me and Christina, we're both personal stylists that are on this panel. So you may be in a room with so many other people that are doing the same type of thing, which is fine because we can all support each other. My lane is my lane, your lane is your lane. But what about your lane makes it authentic? And even when it boils down to personal style, it's like, what are just some key things that people can recognize you about? Oh, well, that's Christina, or oh, that's AK, or oh, that's Pam. Like, what are some key things? And that's for me as a personal stylist, when I'm trying to help someone build their personal style and kind of like their signature look, that's what I try to gravitate towards. Like, what are some things that you like that we can kind of expand on? You don't necessarily have to be dressed all the way up every single day, because for a lot of people that's not realistic. But if there are certain key things that we can use as a way to express yourself and to really make that first impression into the world, that's what I like to focus on, just because it's worked for me. Like, again, I have random people while I'm minding my business in Target trying to spend money I don't have come up to me asking me about my glasses, asking me about this, asking me about that, and that literally starts a conversation of people following me on Instagram, finding me on Facebook, going to my website, booking me for services. So that's how I have used personal style in a way to make a first impression.
I want to piggyback off something both of y'all said. I'm gonna start with what Nyla said. Body type and knowing your body and knowing how to dress for your body is super important. And I think just going back to the previous question, for me personally, because my body is changing, I'm learning that I can't wear certain things anymore, and I have to start adding different things to my wardrobe. And so everybody's always like, "Why haven't you blogged in so long?" Well, I haven't blogged because my body changed, and I don't know what's working and not yet. So that's definitely something that's evolving, and as your body does change, it's something to keep in mind, right? So when I work with my clients, I always do a body analysis, because sometimes I'm unavailable, but they need to know how they need to dress themselves with the things that I put in their closets, right? And so I teach them about what type of dress they should wear, what type of neckline it needs to have, and all those things, that they're busty and not, and take all of that into consideration. As a stylist, a lot of what AK said is so true. We all have our signature things, right? So for me, you either gonna see me in tall heels or you're gonna see me in some dope tennis shoes, right? I'm one or the other, but I could do both. And that's kind of what everybody knows about me. I'm probably gonna have on a nice blazer, and I'm gonna have sky high heels. And that's kind of just how I stand out. My looks are always those timeless classic looks, and I will pull certain trends in or certain things that are trendy in, just so that we could say, hey, you're in style now, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you kept this item, we could still put it back on, right? And so I'm all about investing in quality pieces and pieces that are going to last you throughout time. And when you look back at the picture, you'll still be like, I was fly when I was 25 and now I'm 40. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to always feel that. So for me, first impression is always very clean, very timeless, very classic. And what I do with my clients is the same thing that AK does. I have them choose that one thing that they love. Like for me, it's shoes. For other people, it's a statement piece. For other people, it's a handbag. And then we build around that. And as we're going through the process, I'm going to throw some curveballs in, and I'm going to make you go outside of your element, but we'll do it gradually. That way you can start building your confidence and know, okay, I got this. I can integrate this without Stina's help, right? But I'm on that journey with you to constantly motivate you and build you up, because confidence is 90% of style. The other 10% is fashion, right? But as long as you embody that, I think we can make something happen. So yeah, that's my response to that question.
Awesome. Y'all dropping some gems on this screen. Oh, I'm loving it. I love this topic anyway. But the next question is, how does fashion affect our overall mental well-being and mental health? How does it impact? What's the impact on it? I know you all have talked about your own personal stories and journeys. When you think about the individuals you work with or whomever out there, how does fashion impact our overall mental health and well-being?
I think fashion affects mental health overall, just because, and again, piggybacking off of Christine said, it's like fashion, and more so making an effort to look good, can take you from 0 to 10 within an instant. It can make your mood switch from sad to content or even happy. Especially with COVID, with a lot of us, being laid off or being stuck in the house in a way that we were not used to ever, like being told that we, for the most part, can't go anywhere. So you have to be confined into your house. That can easily start the path of, well, if I'm not going nowhere, I don't need to make no effort. So then if you're not making the effort to at least look good or look decent, and if you're already suffering from mental issues or illness, depression, anxiety, and I say even bipolar, just because a lot of people have that, and it's not like the standard like crazy bipolar that a lot of us are taught, but it's like they can go from happy to sad within an instant. Mm-hmm. So fashion and style can easily be a tool that people can use to maintain that level of sanity almost, especially if they're still dealing with the effects of COVID and not being able to get outside the way that they used to be able to interact with other people, and they're only dealing with themselves in their house. They can literally play dress up in their clothes and make an effort to look good going downstairs, logging on to work, or, you know, feeling good and confident, even if they're watching a movie. So fashion and style, it can really bring you out of the slums if you use it correctly.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just wanted to piggyback on something you said. You said put in a little effort, and I just want to say put in some effort, but make it look effortless, right? That's the key. You don't look like you're trying too hard. You don't want to look like, look, I'm just putting this on and overdo it for your audience, right? So put it on and make it look effortless. Own it, right? It's yours, and you have to embody that thing. If you over here trying to show up how you want to feel, and you don't feel that way, but even on your worst day, give yourself some grace, right? Because we're all kind of navigating different things and different avenues in our lives, and things can get challenging. So I always tell people, like, if you feel like lounging, it's cool. Just be, you know, mindful of the graphic tee you decide to put on that day. Let it have an affirmation, or let it have your favorite group or something on there that can pull you back in, right? And could help lift someone else's day, right? Like, I have this shirt from Mina that says pray, hustle, repeat. And when I tell you, I do that every day. Pray, hustle, repeat every day. And I know so many people have read this shirt and said, oh, you know what? I do need to do that every day. And start your day with prayer and end it with prayer. That's the only thing she should have put after that period. Pray again, you know. But be mindful of kind of what you choose. And it'll help you on your day to day. And like I always say, dress the way you want to feel on your worst days. And then on the day you're feeling lit, dress like you feel lit.
Did anybody else want to answer that question? Did anybody else want to answer that question? All right.
No, well, Pam, I want them to go to my page to make sure
I'm
to
good,
see if I'm
baby.
making.
You say what, Precious?
I said I want to go to my page to see if I've been effortless.
Right, this is the thing. She said put in the effort and make it look effortless. Listen, I want to be
effortless. Like, okay.
I'm gonna put it on a shirt now, y'all. Okay.
That's a shirt. That's a graphic tee. I wear that one.
Yes, I love it. Y'all are so amazing. Like, this is helping me, okay? So I kind of want to pivot a little bit. I have asked each panelist to do a demonstration for us. So they're going to take about 3 to 5 minutes for the demonstration for the outfit. And ladies, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do, and then go into your demonstration. So we're going to have Miss AK go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I don't know if I can stand up, I can see everything, but I'm gonna explain it, and we just gonna go with that. So, hello everyone. My name is AK Brown. I am a published personal and editorial stylist and serial fashion entrepreneur. I have been in the industry for well over 8 years. I've been published everywhere from Elements Magazine to Fashion Bomb Daily, and locally Deluxe Magazine, St. Louis American, St. Louis Magazine, Ladue News, and more. So my whole mantra is all about body positivity and personal style. Again, just based on some of the things that we talked about here, I'm all about exuding confidence from the inside out. And with my personal style business, Closet Therapy by AK, I try to work from the inside first, so that we can just make sure that we're tackling some of the, confident issues that you may be having, and then pairing them with some fashion and style elements in order to just make sure that you're living your best life in the most fashionable way. So today, what I have on, I'm going to see if I can try to stand up, but if not, I could easily describe. So I'm wearing something that's very classic and very chic. Can I turn my camera horizontally? Or like portrait?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
All right, y'all, give me 1 second here. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna make it work today. Okay. So today, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's okay. I'm wearing something that's a very classic minimalist dress from H&M. I'm all about minimalism just because it's a great way for you to be able to piggyback and kind of build your board as far as personal style. Minimalist pieces are what you can use to accessorize, pair with color and things of that nature. I'm not wearing them. However, I'm getting ready to show you guys. With this look, I would be wearing these because I wore them today when I left out the house. My new Coach sandals that I just got in last week. Now, Coach, I like Coach because if you're like me, you're a big-footed woman. I wear an 11. So if you're looking for some very chic and fashion-forward shoes, go to Coach. They do go up to a size 11. And then with this look, I would be wearing my Bottega dupe that Target had. I don't know if they have any more left. I got this probably about 3 months ago. So this is why I would wear with this. And then just a hint of street style. My leather snapback that I got from H&M with my cute little earrings from Forever 21 and my cute statement necklace from Forever 21 as well. So that's what I'm wearing. That's actually what I was wearing earlier today. And that's what encompasses AK Brown's personal style. As I flip the camera
Thank
back.
you, AK. That was awesome. Thank you. Nyla, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. I'm the owner of House of Nyla, and I specifically specialize in basically evening wear and dresses, and right now bridal because I'm doing a wedding dress right now. My personal style, honestly, is a lot more comfortable than probably what people would imagine. So right now I have a dress on from, I believe, ASOS. They are actually my go-to. If you are looking for like nice party attire type dresses, like a lot of people, I'm most known for like wearing like sequin dresses and things like that when I go out. ASOS is the place. So this is just a nice dress from ASOS. I'm a fan of just wearing simple statement necklace and little jewelry. I don't have my Coach bag, but I just got like a simple Coach bag. It's the summertime, so I kind of keep it simple and cute. Not a whole lot going on, but just enough to just be like, she's comfortable, she's cute, it's simple. But if you would like to view, amen, some of the things that I do, this probably doesn't reflect some of the things that I actually do. Check out on Instagram, House of Nyla. Amen.
Amen. We know Nyla been to church today. She said amen out there. Hallelujah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and my glasses too. I like to wear statement glasses as well. So I'll put, yes, me and AK on the same page on that. Love me a nice cat eye, especially if I'm not wearing lashes. This is like the perfect thing to cover up that you don't have lashes on. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, Stina, you up next.
So I wasn't gonna do my outfit because honestly, I ain't even planning on looking this well today. But we'll get there. So let's intro first. So I'm Christina Dior. All my friends call me Stina. That's why you get Stina Dior. And I'm from St. Louis. I live in Atlanta and I work between Atlanta and St. Louis. I'm an image consultant and personal stylist. And the difference is that the image consultant is concerned with the full look of the person, right? I'm going to touch on your hair and give recommendations for that. I'm going to give you recommendations for your nails. I'm going to get your outfit together, right? And I'm going to curate everything for you moving forward. And then as a personal stylist, I work with individuals to really pull out their signature unique style, right? I started my business last year, currently in style. And my tagline is timeless looks are always in style. So with me, you know, you're always going to get something timeless. And that's kind of my go-to. So today I've been on set all day, y'all. So I'm actually really tired. And so what I did was, I'm about to do a bunch of returns from the shoot that I did. So, Pam wanted me to tell y'all what an editorial was. So an editorial is anything that you do for any print media, any publication, right? So today I did a shoot for Flaunt magazine and Netflix for one of their upcoming artists from the show Stranger Things, right? And so really hip, she's young and vibrant, and so we had to really dress her on trend. So in the production and editorial world, I work as an assistant wardrobe stylist. I'm the first assistant on a style team, and so it's my job to procure all the items as we pick them out and put on their mood board for the publication. So you can kind of see it on the mannequin. I want to scoot back and I want to move my mannequin to the front of the screen. And so, this kind of aligns perfect with me because I tend to be a bit of a label person. And so for my high-end clients, we tend to shop what's current on the runway through Vogue and through all the major publications. And so we go through their lookbooks and we pull looks that we feel will match the personality of the person. And so this is a full Prada look. You've seen it pretty much all over Instagram. And so it's the bucket hat, which is super trendy now. But Forever 21 and H&M has so many different colors and varieties of bucket hats, y'all. Like I bought like 3 for like $15. And so it's definitely a trend that you can get for the low cost now. But we put her in the full Prada look with the bucket hat, and then what you have is the matching bra here, and then the matching nylon shorts. And they all have that Prada emblem on there. And then we contrasted it with the Prada bag that kind of goes with it. And she did it with the handle and then with the strap. And then these are Cult Gaia glasses, which is a huge African-American owned brand. And we love them, and everything's always sold out. But you can always get something like this too. At like your signature stores, your Forever 21, Target. Oh my God, Target's glasses, the bomb. Urban Outfitters glass selection, the bomb. And so I actually have this look, this mint in this bag. I actually got the bag from Target. I got the mint shoes from Public Desire, and I got the glasses from Target as well. And I only spent like $25, right? So never feel like you have to be like using the full brands, because a lot of times they just really overpriced, y'all. And then how it works with us is that because they're major artists and celebrities, we get to borrow the items. And so when I told you I had a lot of returns, that means everything I got for the shoot, I have to ship it back. And so that's typically how it works. And then what the clients love, we work out with the different brands to gift them the items that they absolutely love for the shoot. And then that has translated into me personal shopping for production, and personal shopping for some celeb clients too. So that's like phenomenal. That's why I say I love what I do every day, because it's constantly opening doors and giving me new opportunities to take the things that I actually love and do them on a day-to-day basis. Just for my personal style, like Nyla said, I be in basics. I'm in sweats and tennis shoes pretty much every day. And I love just like a good cami tee. And I wear neutral tones, right? So I only wear black, white, nudes, tans, browns. And if I insert a color, it's either going to be yellow or pink. Just because most stylists pretty much are in black a lot of the time, right? And so I'd like to try to pull in some color, but my go-tos are the neutrals, and then I'll add an accent. That's just what I like to do, and I think it's pretty classic. So if y'all have questions too while you're in the chat, feel free to put them in there so Pam can cycle them through for us too, as we're doing our demonstrations. So yeah, now I'm gonna try to keep my energy up. We got probably like another 30 minutes because I'm half asleep.
Keep our energy up. Okay, we all trying to keep our energy up. Thank you all for the demonstration, ladies. I hope you all learned something. I hope you were taking notes. You guys have did a beautiful job. We're going to go back into our question segment, but my next question is, how did you really learn to dress for your body image? I was talking to my sister, my sorority sister, my baby Neo, Stina the other day. Yes, Stina the other day, and she said, you know, one thing I love about you, you know how to dress for your body type, and that's very important. So how did you learn to dress for your body image?
I'm gonna take this one first. I'm gonna start off. For me, it was probably like trial and error. Like I think when a bodycon dresses like really start, I was like, I'm gonna wear these bodycon dresses, and after I was like, I'm not gonna wear any bodycon dresses. So I mean, that's the thing about fashion, though. It's literally just playing around to see what works. Get with somebody, like Christina and Kate, that will, also help you with what your shape, what you should be wearing. But a lot of times it is just trial and error and say like, I got a lot of compliments when I wore this particular style of dress versus when I wore this. This was no. So I think just honestly playing around with your closet, you may have to get rid of some things in your closet too that you may have thought that look good on you.
Yes.
But yeah, just trial and error, playing around. Ask your friends, you know what I'm saying? Even like me and my friends sometimes we'll be in a group chat and they'll be like in the dressing room, they'll be like, what y'all think about this? And we either voting it up or we voting it down. You know what I'm saying? So kind of just having those people that'll be like, no, and playing around is just so important. That's the, fun part, about fashion, have fun with it.
That's awesome.
I very much agree to piggyback off of that, especially if you are kind of going through the transition of becoming into your like new body. If you are going through body changes, even if you're someone that doesn't like to try things on, shop with brands that have a very lenient return or exchange policy, like H&M. You can basically return anything from there. They're kind of like the Sephora of returns when it comes to clothes. So if you don't like to try stuff on in their dressing room, take it home, try it on in the mirror, and you really just have to make, yay, nay, I'm not really feeling it. Definitely closet edits. Going through your closet and stop holding on to things that good and well you're not wearing, does not fit. You're not making a conscious and active effort right here in this moment to fit. Get rid of them. I'm all about sustainability, and a pillar of sustainability is taking things that you're not using, reselling them. It goes to other people that may see benefit from it, or donating it to Goodwill, Savers, St. Vincent's, whoever is your local thrift store that you like to donate clothes. If you resell it, that money can go back into your wardrobe budget. If you're just donating it, it's for a good cause. You're doing good in the community. But I'm always someone that I actually clean out my closet probably every 3 to 4 months. Try to resell it. If after a couple months I don't get the money that I'm looking for, I just go ahead and donate it, because it helps keep your wardrobe fresh. The pieces, like for example, like Christina said, the timeless pieces that I have, I keep those because those are always going to be on trend and in season no matter what year we're in. But anything else that I just bought and I just don't like, or it just didn't hit the way that I thought it was going to hit, try to resell it. Get some money back in your wardrobe budget. If not, donate it. Do good for the community, because don't clutter your closet. Then that's going to flare up your anxiety, because that's what happened to me. I had all these clothes and I was wondering why my anxiety was on here every time it came to cleaning out my closet or cleaning my room up, because I had stuff from like 5 years ago knowing good and well I can't fit, and I'm not actively trying to lose weight. So why do I have it? Give it to your friend. Give it to your mama. Go take it to Goodwill and get it out of your closet.
And to add to what she just said, when you get things out of your closet, you can actually see what you have and put it on, right? If you can't see what you have because it's so cluttered, you will never wear it. So I'm very much so an advocate for cleaning out. So I'll get back to that, but let me go back to the actual question, which was, how did I learn to dress for my body? So I was always small, right? Like I said, anywhere from like the 115-ish to the 130, which is still small. And so a lot of things just worked well for me. I had been that size forever. And let's be honest, the fashion industry is tailored to smaller people, right? So I was the 0 to 2 and the 4, right? But when I started getting to the 6 and 8 and I'm kind of borderline 10, that's where I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what works. And so I'm learning now, as I don't shop every week like I used to for myself, but I shop sparingly now. And so I'm learning to, okay, Stina, you can't put that on no more. it don't work for you, right? And so using the dressing room, even though I hate doing it, or bringing it home and trying it on, it really works. And really get in that mirror and confront it and say, do this look good to me? And when I do closet audits, I always have my clients say, how does this make me feel? Okay, Marie Kondo was on to something on Netflix when she said, does this bring you joy, right? Because you only want to add things into your wardrobe and keep things in your wardrobe that actually bring you joy. So you're not clutter. Now to come back to what AK said about cleaning out your closet. I clean out my closet every season. I just like cleaned it out in the winter time, and I got rid of so much stuff, but then I walked in there the other day and I couldn't see anything, right? So I'm like, I'm about to do another haul. And what I do is, I'm not a reseller. I invest in my pieces, and I always feel like God blessed me with this, so let me be a blessing to other people. So you'll see me on my Instagram story giving things away I've never worn or only wore once, and I'll ship it to you. And then whatever no one asks for off Instagram or Facebook, I just take right to the Goodwill, and hey, I'm here for a good tax write-off. I'm just saying, so I can write it off as a taxable donation as well. But yes, I absolutely encourage you all to audit your closet as often as possible. And if you don't want to audit it, we do it. We'll do it for you. Call AK, she there. Call me. I'll do it for you. And we'll get you right and get you organized, because it really does change your anxiety, right? Because it's super key. Like, if you walk into clutter and live in clutter, you're just like, you won't settle and you won't calm. And so it's very good to have things in the rightful place and know where they are. And then it makes it easier to select your wardrobe as well.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
This Mina comment.
This comment by Mina. She's clowning today, okay?
Yeah, she's clowning.
Clowning. Clients show up for photo shoots knowing that it doesn't fit right. Send help. Prayer hands, okay?
They
so
be trying.
Photo shoots right, or hire Stina or AK or not. All right.
Pam and I have a couple more questions before giveaway and before questions from the audience. So audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in there, and Pam and I will address those. But ladies, you kind of almost tapped on this, but I kind of want to hear from your vantage point. Should we dress how we feel, or should we dress how we want to feel? Or is it both?
I think it depends on how you feel, right? I said that earlier. So for me, I'm always going to say, for me, when I feel horrible, I need to dress how I want to feel, because that automatically translates. It's transformative for me. I always say that my clothing is transformative. It makes me feel better. When I feel like crap, but I look in the mirror and be like, girl, ooh, you cute today. And so for me, on those down days, I always say, dress the way you want to feel. But if I'm feeling good and I'm in a mood, you dress how you want to feel, right? If you're feeling good, it's just like yesterday, I felt really good, but I also feel really good in my comfy t-shirt and my leggings and my little wedge sandals like AK had. And I felt beautiful. I felt good. And it's really about, I felt chilled and comfortable and relaxed. So I'll say, on your bad days, like I said, give yourself some grace and dress the way you want to feel, especially let's say you have to go to an office and you have to do a presentation, or you have to show up for other people who depend on your expertise, who depend on your intellect, who depend on your knowledge and all these things. And you need to dress the way you want to feel so you can deliver what you need to deliver. And then on your good days, just kind of dress how you feel then too.
That's good. That's good.
All right. If nobody else have anything, Pam, is on you.
All right. So what tools do you use personally in order for you to be fashionably well? What tools do you use personally in order for you to be fashionably well?
Therapy.
That's
it, because I just feel like we can't even get into being fashionable if the internal is all messed up. And that's just what it is for me. And again, kind of piggybacking off what I said before, I'm in this constant journey within myself in order to be the best person that I can be, and trying to right some wrongs that I did in the past, both professionally and personally. So if this ain't where it is together, in my opinion, you don't need to be worrying about trying to look the part, because you can look the part and be an ugly person. And that's how I looked to the nines and was an ugly person and was wondering why people wasn't trying to rock with me. So you have to work on the internal, and it's not gonna be anything that's gonna be fixed overnight. It's a constant journey, and for some it's a constant battle, and it's a constant struggle, whether it is anxiety, depression, or just figuring out with what type of person that you want to continue to be. You have to continue to work on it. Keep going to therapy, keep working on your communication, just keep working on the person that you want people to know you as. So that's just me. Now, as far as the fashion person, again, when it comes to like self-esteem, I always say fashion and style can really help you when it comes to body image and self-esteem. If you're not someone that thinks that they can do it, hire a stylist. If you're in Atlanta, hire Christina. If you're in St. Louis, hire me. You can hire the both of us, because we both go back and forth between Atlanta. You find somebody that can help you bring the vision of what you want to look like to life, but also can help you kind of go through and get you over the hump of some of those self-esteem issues that you may be working on, because stylists are therapists. Now, I know we put a disclaimer that we technically aren't therapists, but I think that we need to get certified in therapy in some way, shape, form, fashion, or degree, because style is a form of therapy. That's why my brand is Closet Therapy by AK. Style can literally bring you from the slums to, okay, now I done looked in the mirror and I don't feel sad anymore because I actually look great. Now I actually have this mentality that I am great. And now I'm going to walk into a room or just go somewhere random, and I'm going to have a little bit more pep in my step. And I'm just going to be happy to exist. So where the fashion element comes in, just play dress up. That if I can give everybody homework here that's listening, that's watching, whatever, play dress up. Start to really get into some things within your closet that bring you happiness, and just like Christina said, that bring you joy.
Somebody said y'all need to get that certification now.
Look, okay,
get it now.
Look, we gotta figure this out, because style is a therapist. I'm sorry if y'all don't think so, whatever. Because we be helping y'all get it together and come from here to there, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Because we be helping y'all clean out the closets and not spend all this money too. So we gonna figure out certification, because I'm a therapist. I'm saying that right here, right now. I'm a therapist.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, AK. She stole my question, Pam. The final question was, what's a tip you can give for our audience on how to be fashionably well, how to go about and own it? And she stole it. Christina, House, y'all got anything? Or y'all piggyback on that?
I can go about the tools that I use to be fashionably well. So AK nailed it. For my mental health, therapy is key for me. Well, Jesus and therapy are key for me, right? So much like Nyla, I really struggled during COVID because church was closed, right? And that's something that I use every day, so luckily I got a good relationship with my Jesus, right? But on top of that, going to therapy for my mental health, super important. Even when I feel like I have things together, I still go, right? Just so I can start learning to just work things out. Egyptian said retail therapy. I cut that out because I had to get some financial freedom, some financial wellness in here. And so learning to not equate feeling well with purchases and the swipe of my card. That was euphoric to me. And I had high-end addiction, okay? Like at 20, they knew me in BCBG because I was like this. Right? Crazy. And I had to deliver myself from that demon. So knowing kind of what works and what doesn't. And then just in my business, I went to masterclass. Hey, friend, Keisha class, I went to masterclass her first year. And she talked about using a client relationship manager. And so within my first year of business did really shoot up during COVID, right? And so I had all these clients, and I'm like, need to figure out ways to streamline the services, right? And so one of my clients actually told me about Dubsado. And that tool for me has been transformative as far as client relationship management, because I was stressed. You have to respond to emails, you have to send invoices out, you got to give people their expense reports, you have to keep all of this information together. And so it was pulling me, the business part was pulling me away from my creativity. And I needed a time and a system that worked, that streamlined everything for me. And so integrating a system in the background that would auto do all these things, so I could spend the time doing what I need to do. It freed up a lot of anxiety and gave me time to shop and to interact with my clients. And then as they had questions that they needed to refer back to something we said in the notes on our conversation, or review their invoice or anything like that, they had access to their client portal now, right? So it just cleared and freed up a lot more space, because we can talk about fashion and the fun part, but it's the business part that makes it, take away the fun, y'all. It's that business part that's just really can be stressful. And so just having that and all that accounting and things done in the background, it makes the business a little more seamless. And then personally, I'm a project manager, so I'm super organized and I'm all about timelines and deadlines. And so I use that I think that's a great asset for a lot of my clients and my customers, because I'm going to deliver by the time we need to deliver, and y'all gonna have everything you need to have. And that just translates to great customer service. When you come to me, you're gonna have a great customer experience. Not only is it gonna be fun because we're gonna shop and you're gonna look beautiful, but everything that you have to think business wise, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, that's gonna be seamless as well. So major tool, always use the client relationship manager. Especially as you build your clientele and things get, you don't want to mix and match.
Oh man, I'm saying, Christine, I need to talk to you after. I'm saying,
hit me up, girl.
Because my clientele is getting up. I'm gonna say, Tim, for me being a designer, and by me doing custom, sometimes people would bring me like pictures and things. And for a while, it kind of became, I got a little bit down, because it's kind of like you're competing with somebody else's work. And so this year I implemented where a client will come to me and say, hey, I want this or whatever. And then I will sketch so I could still bring my creativity out, and it just wouldn't be me copying somebody else's work, And so that really helped me. Even in the beginning of this year, I was just like, I literally just sat down in my studio, was like, I'm just finna sit here and sketch for 30 minutes, just to kind of keep my juices going and my mind going, even one of my favorite things to do is like therapy, I guess, for me, is listening to podcasts. No matter what the podcast is about, is, just kind of have some, especially because my job is like the same thing every day, but learning more about financial freedom, sometimes just pop culture things, but it kind of keeps me in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm able to, when I have a client, I'm in a great mood. You know what I'm saying? Because I have inputted things inside of me, you know what I'm saying, before I even get to them. And also the spiritual part as well, reading my Bible, praying, you know what I'm saying? Those things keep my mind, you know what I'm saying, together. And sometimes I'll just even pray like, God, just download, you know what I'm saying, creative ideas, connect me to, the right people, in this industry, because quiet as it's kept, you know what I'm saying, people, they'll try to connect, okay? And then they really trying to jack your gift, you know what I'm saying, or try to use your gift, you know what I'm saying, that God has given you. And so, the main thing, I'm like, God, you've given me this gift. You have purposed me for this. And so no matter who I may get in contact with, I'm going to always, represent Christ and represent, my brand as well. So I think the spiritual part is important. I think also doing, self-work, self-therapy as well. And I think, I forgot my last one to say, but just everything that everybody has said has just been so good. I've learned some things as well tonight. So I'm gonna definitely be connecting with you ladies even after this. So
For sure.
Yes.
Oh, and I want to add one more thing as you were talking. I didn't mention like having the support of your people, right? Having your village, right? They're they're your foundation for the most part, right? So having my village, having a supportive partner, having a supportive group of friends, you know, having a supportive family. A lot of us have family. That don't mean they support you, but having a supportive family, that's another tool, you know, to deal with your mental health, health, and, you know, share what you're learning as you go through therapy, right? Because yeah, you have your therapist, but sometimes you want to share what you've learned and how you've transformed, right? Because my problem wasn't like AKs, it was the opposite. People thought I was dressed to the nines, but because I was dressed to the nines, remember I told you everybody thought I was arrogant, but I'm not that person. I'm very sweet. I'm very nice. I'm very genuine. I'm just a real person. But people wouldn't even come to me to learn about me because the image I projected, right? And so I had to figure out, well, how are you reading me? Because it's hurting my feelings that y'all think I'm arrogant and I'm just a really down chick, you know? And so I just had to learn to stop having, you know, the resting bitch face, and to smile a little more. And it worked for my benefit. And so we all kind of, like I said, every day, we're all on our own journeys and we all have things that we're working toward, but always remember to lean on the people around you too, because they're a lot of times they're the best mirror that you have, and can tell you about you more and know you better than you even know yourself. So I'll say that as a tool to deal with your mental health as well.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that you guys do not look at fashion as masking yourselves. It's about therapy first, and then what you put on, it makes you become better. So I love that you guys explained that in each of your stories. You guys are amazing. I'm gonna have to hire all y'all. Like, listen. But we want to get into the Q&A section. So we do have a couple of questions. Ladies, if you do have questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. In the chat, we're going to take about 3 to 5 minutes for the Q&A section, but go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Our first question is from Egyptian. She said, how do you decide what colors work for you?
You know, I say with melanin, you can't go wrong. That's me, right? With melanin, we come in all shades and it works to our benefit, right? For me, it's not about what color works for you, it's what colors you like and dislike. And then again, I'm going to go back to how does it make you feel? Like I wear yellow and pink because it makes me feel good. It's calming, it's soothing, it's all those things. And when I want to be bold, you might catch me with red on, right? To me, it's about how I want to feel. And I think most things complement Black women's skin tones. But you also have to know how to merge it, right? So if you want to wear something very loud, like for me, because my style is pretty classic and pretty toned down, I will always tone it down, right? So I wouldn't put a loud pair of shoes with a loud print and some loud lipstick. It's about creating that balance, right? And so it's really about figuring out what works for you, first of all, how does it feel? How's it going to make you feel? And then once you decide to integrate that color, figuring out the balance with the rest of you, not only just your outfit, but also your hair, your makeup, all these things, because they all play a part, right? And just balance it out to achieve the look that you want.
I agree with everything that Christina said. I would say for me personally, my closet is full of every color that probably exists. So I'm someone that experiments. I'm someone, if I like it for that time, I'm going to buy it. I'm also someone to where I change my mind a lot. Like, maybe that's why I'm a hoarder. But that's neither here nor there. And that's a different discussion for a different day. So for me personally, I have every color from white to black and then all the colors in between. For someone that's not like us, I would highly suggest, just like Christina suggesting, not only get a body analysis, but also invest in the color analysis with a personal stylist or image consultant. So different stylists do it different ways. Like me personally, because I do come from the product development side of it, I use my handy dandy Pantone system. And so we usually just try to see what colors work with the undertones of your body. And then what a lot of people don't realize, just like with makeup, for example, a lot of people have to change their foundation from spring, summer to fall, winter, because their skin tone actually changes hues. So just like with that, you may find that different colors work for you in spring, summer versus fall, winter, because of how your body color is changing with the season. So if you're someone that is not wanting to, necessarily experiment with different colors, or just going through your closets and see what colors you like, gravitate towards, or makes you feel good, invest in the color analysis and the body analysis with a personal stylist, and they'll be able to suggest different colors that may work for you. But also, just like Christina said, we're Black. Anything we wear looks good. So that's it. That's the part too. So yeah.
Awesome. I am still looking through the chat and see if we have any more questions. You all, if you have any questions for the panelists, please drop them in the chat and we will get those answered.
Well, while we're waiting, I'll talk about the giveaway.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and talk about the giveaway. We do have a giveaway currently in style. So go ahead and do that, Stina.
Yeah, so I told y'all I love giving things away. Gifts are my love language. So I love to give gifts, right? So during COVID, I think we all kind of got a little creative and figured out how we can make an extra coin. And so I started making, of course, t-shirts, my branded t-shirts. So what's always included in my clients' thank you boxes, a currently in style t-shirt, as well as I started, Mina make pens, right? But she encouraged me to make another one. So I have a little stylish AF enamel pen. Can you see it? So that'll be included in there. And then I also love to give away discounted services, right? So whoever wins the giveaway will get 50% off their services, which is amazing. I almost never do a 50% off. I almost never do it. My friends tell me not to. And so they'll get 50% off their services. But then I'm going to pull some of my favorite things for this season's trend. And so you'll get a little style box too. So whoever wins, you're going to send me your name and a few of your sizes. What I'll do is probably send my little client questionnaire just so I can make sure I have everything I need so I can tailor the box a little more to you. And then you'll have a few fun goodies that you can wear throughout the summer as we prepare to go back outside, y'all. We can go outside. Still put the mask on, no. That's all I'm saying. And so I'll include that in your box and we'll connect. The ways to win is to, of course, be a participant in this podcast now, and then follow my style page at Currently in Style on Instagram. And once you've done those two things, Pam will just randomly select a winner. And then from the chat, she'll randomize it some kind of way. And then you'll hear from me in an email. You'll hear from me once I get your name in an email next week, and we'll get your style box on the way. Super exciting. I love giving stuff away. So this is going to be fun.
Awesome. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So I see that there are not any questions. So we're going to go and announce the winner for the Currently in Style giveaway. Okay.
No.
So Stina just told you what you will get in that style box, that gift box that she is doing with her company. And our winner is, I wish it was a drum roll. I've been singing all day at church. I don't have a voice left, right?
Look, I'm doing it on my knees.
Music.
Right, I'm drumming.
So our winner for the Currently in Style gift box is Miss Falil Wise.
Hey, Falil! Yay!
So congratulations. I will get you in contact with Christina Dior, and I'm sure she is going to do something amazing for you. So congratulations.
Girl, I'm going to hook you up. I love it. We're going to have some fun. I'm so looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, Precious, is there any other thoughts that you want to add to this conversation before we end this conversation?
No, I just wanted to thank all of our panelists. You all are unique and amazing in your own right. I love all of your tips. I live and swear by them, so I appreciate them. And you all are so beautiful, and I appreciate you all for being here and saying yes to us today. This is such a rich time, very substance-packed, and so thank you, ladies, so much.
No, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Precious.
Thank you.
What you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said no. I said Likewise, I'm super appreciative for being here. Thank you for having us. Thank you for considering me. I'm so happy I was able to show up because I like text Pam like, wait, I got a job on Sunday. I'm gonna make it work though. And so I'm happy to be here. The conversation was definitely stimulating. I've learned something from both of you ladies. I look forward to connecting with you even more. And like AK said, I'm here and I'm there. I come to St. Louis once a month, so that's when my books get really full. And so just whatever you guys need, whether it's a style tip, a fashion tip, or help with shop, whatever you need, just call me. I'm always a text and a call away. And I just look forward to working with people, working with you all, and kind of building our environment because like AK said, it is oversaturated, but the community is still very relatively small from where we're from. And so I do want to grow this thing out and make it known across, not just St. Louis, but across the world. I'm a dream big for it, y'all.
Yeah.
Dream big, man.
Nyla, I'm getting some custom, just saying.
Yeah.
Call
Y'all
me.
share y'all.
I will be on the first flight to Atlanta.
Nyla is amazing. Like I'm like, girl, did
Thank
you do that?
Thank you. I'm trying out here, y'all. Listen, I'm in a new territory of bridal right now, so I'm super excited. So I can't wait for y'all to see what I've been cooking up. So.
We're excited. Can you ladies share your Instagram handles for people to follow you on, please?
Yeah.
Yes, mine is
in the chat as well.
Okay. Mine's AK Brown STL. I have a whole bunch of other ones. DM me and I would be happy to share them other ones. Because like I said, as a serial entrepreneur, Instagram is a hater and 150. I'm too accomplished, which is going on the shirt. I'm too accomplished for 150 characters. So follow me at AK Brown STL and I'll give you the other handles when you DM me.
Mine is just House of Nyla all together with an underscore on Instagram. And then you could just add me on here, Nyla Coleman on Facebook. Super easy.
Yep, and I'm Estina Dior, STINADIOR. That's my main page. And then it currently in style is my business page. They're linked, so just use Estina Dior. And then my Facebook is Christina Roberts. And then currently in style has its own Facebook page as well.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for being participants for the QOR conversation Fashionably Well. This has been rich. Like, I just have to go back and look at it and let me just write some notes. But I hope you learned something. I hope that you was inspired by really living out your purpose and your passion, whatever that may be. It may not be fashion, but really looking for a therapist when you need a therapist and not use clothing as a cover up, but use clothing as becoming better. So I appreciate you all for listening. Continue to support the brand of QOR. We are doing big things, and I appreciate our president, Precious Simone, for being on here and our amazing team. You can follow us at Queen of Resilience on Instagram and Facebook. And then we have a website, www.QORnow.com. You guys have a great night and enjoy your evening. Good night, you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.